Dep et al.'s Calapan initiates Project Attack COVID-19 o airtime teaching to ALS communities to knock down illiteracies amid COVID-19 sa paniniwala na ang pag-aaral ay hindi dapat tumigil sa gitna ng kasalukuyang krisis sa kalusugan. Ito ay nagsimula noong ika-13 ng Abril 2020 sa pakikipagtulungan ng Calapan Cable Center Incorporated, Tamaraw Vision Network Incorporated o at DZSB 104.1 Spirit FM. Ang proyektong ito ay naglalayong ipagpatuloy ang proseso ng pagtuturo at pagkatuto para sa mga mag-aaral ng alternative learning system sa pamamagitan ng paggamit ng radio and television-based instructions.
Kaibigan, tara, simulan nating baguhin ang guhit ng palad mo.
Ikaw ba ay napahinto sa pag-aaral dahil kailangan maghanap buhay para tumulong sa pamilya?
Malayo ang paaralan sa inyong tirahan?
Maagang nagtaguyod ng sariling pamilya?
Chance mo na to!
Para ituloy ang naudot mong pangarap.
Heto ang ALS, ang magbibigay ng pangalawang pagkakataon sa iyo.
Samahan natin ang sikap
Upang kinabukasan natin ay kumislap.
Mag-aral sa gusto mong araw at oras.
Matuto ng skills.
lumahok sa pangdibisyon o pangrehiyon na paligsahan.
Ano pa ang inaantay mo? Libre yan lahat. San ka pa? Enroll na!
Para sa inyong mga katanungan, maaari po kayong tumawag o mag-text sa mga sumusunod na numero 0917-658-5575 for Globe and TM subscribers at 0939-930-1290 for Smart and TNT subscribers.
Business Math 1. Lesson 1. Computing Interest and Monthly Amortization. Doing business involves constantly computing or solving number problems. A successful businessman knows how to properly compute for interest rates and monthly amortization on products bought on installment. Business-related problems usually require a combination of several mathematical operations. It is best that you read the module on basic math and review addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. If you feel that you're already familiar with these operations, you are ready for the topics covered in this module. In this lesson, you will learn how to compute some business-related problems. After studying this lesson, you should be able to compute simple and compound interest for loans. Calculate monthly amortization for installment schemes. Are you now ready to study business math? Read the story. Interest rates. Simple interest. If you borrow a car from a car rental company or if you live in someone else's house or apartment, you have to pay rent. Like paying rent for the use of a car or a house, you also have to pay rent for the money you borrowed. This is called interest. People like Marco earn by charging interest on loans. Banks earn most of their income from the interest that people pay for the amounts they borrow. How much interest one has to pay depends on three factors: the principal, the time, the interest rate. The principal is the initial amount borrowed. For example, if Marco lends Philip 10,000 pesos, that amount would be the principal of his loan. The time, also known as term, is the number of units expressed as days, months, or years for which the principal was borrowed. In Marco's case, he gives out loans with a term of 6 months. The interest rate, or simply rate, is the percentage of the principal amount that the borrower has to pay for a term. The formula for simple interest is I is equal to PRT, where I, interest, P, principal, R, rate at which the interest is to be paid, T, term or length of time the debt has to be paid. A formula is also known as a mathematical equation. It is used to compute for needed values. To compute for interest, the formula I is equal to PRT is used. You need to substitute the given values for the principal, rate, and term to compute for the interest. Let us apply this formula to answer Philip's question.
How much interest do I have to pay in 6 months at a simple interest rate of 5% for every 6,000 pesos?
Philip has to pay Marco 150 pesos in interest after 6 months for the 6,000 pesos he borrowed. How much money does he have to pay Marco after 6 months? To compute for the total amount of money the lender should receive after the term of the loan, the formula is A is equal to P plus I, where A, total amount of pesos the lender should receive, P, principal, I, interest. Do you remember the principal amount the Philip plans to borrow? Substituting these values, Philip should pay Marco a total of 6,150 pesos after 6 months. Were you able to follow the computation for the interest and the total amount at the end of the term? Let's see if you can now use the formula you learned to compute simple interest. See if you can also compute the total amount a borrower should pay to the lender at the end of the term. Compounded interest. People usually borrow money from banks or other lenders to start businesses or increase their business capital. Banks are a good place to keep money because it pays interest for deposits compounded quarterly. Banks, too, lend money and charge interest on the principal amount borrowed compounded at any of these rates: quarterly, semi-annually, annually. What is the difference between a simple interest and a compounded interest? In a simple interest scheme, only the principal amount earns interest in a term. In compounded interest, at stated intervals during the term of transaction, the interest is regularly added to the principal and the sum thereafter earns interest. Would banks earn more from using the compounded interest scheme on the loans they give out? Loans from banks have higher interest charges because they charge compounded interest and not simple interest. To understand this further, let us go back to Philip. Philip decided to borrow 12,000 pesos from Marco at a simple interest of 5% for every 6,000 pesos for 6 months. How much interest must Philip pay Marco at the end of the term? What is the total amount that Marco should receive? The formula for simple interest is I is equal to PRT. The formula for the total amount to be paid is A is equal to P plus I. Philip must pay Marco 600 pesos in interest at the end of the term of 6 months. If the principal is added to this amount, Marco should receive a total amount of 12,600 pesos. Philip borrowed 12,000 pesos from a bank at a compounded interest of 5% for every 6,000 pesos compounded quarterly. How much interest must Philip pay the bank at the end of the 6 months? What is the total amount that Philip has to pay the bank at the end of the term? Let us solve. How much interest must Philip pay the bank at the end of the 6 months? Total interest earned at the end of the term. Total interest is equal to new balance at end of term minus principal. Based on the above computation, Philip must pay the bank 607 pesos and 50 cents in interest at the end of the 6 months. He has to pay a total amount of 12,607 pesos and 50 cents at the end of the term. Notice about the computation for compounded interest. The formula for computing simple interest is also used. But in this case, another computation using the same formula is done for the second quarter. Did the principal change for the second quarter? Yes, a new principal is used. This is the principal based on the new balance for the first quarter. In which interest scheme would he pay more interest? Savings earn more in compounded interest scheme. If you are to start a business, better borrow using a simple interest scheme and save your money in banks where a compounded interest scheme is used. This way, you avoid paying more interest on your loans. Also, you earn more interest from your savings. For a compounded interest scheme, the interest is paid at the end of the term. Both the original deposit and the earned interest are retained in the deposit. Computations for the interest for the next terms are based on the new balance of the deposited account.
Kaibigan, tara, simulan nating baguhin ang guhit ng palad mo.
Ikaw ba ay napahinto sa pag-aaral dahil kailangan maghanap buhay para tumulong sa pamilya?
Malayo ang paaralan sa inyong tirahan?
Maagang nagtaguyod ng sariling pamilya?
Chance mo na to!
Para ituloy ang naudot mong pangarap.
Heto ang ALS, ang magbibigay ng pangalawang pagkakataon sa'yo.
Samahan natin ang sikap
upang kinabukasan natin ay kumislap.
Mag-aral sa gusto mong araw at oras.
Matuto ng skills.
Lumahok sa pangbibisyon o pangrehiyon na paligsahan.
Ano pang inaantay mo? Libre yan lahat. San ka pa? Enroll na!
Para sa inyong mga katanungan, maaari po kayong tumawag o mag-text sa mga sumusunod na numero 0917-658-5575 for Globe and TM subscribers at 0939-930-1290 for Smart and TNT subscribers.